The one I was waiting for, Weapon Stereotypes, Episode 4, The Pyro, by SoundSmith.
You know, I had kind of hoped that the Pyro update would have dropped by the time I uploaded this video, but no such luck, I guess. I don't know. Like, Valve, I appreciate that you're taking your time on this. I'm sure you're doing a great job, but, I mean, you should probably keep us informed on what you're doing, you know? I don't know. I guess we'll just work with what we've got for now. There are many different types of pyros, and hopefully I'll be able to cover all of them in this video. With that said, please remember that a stereotype does not necessarily mean everyone, but there's also a reason for it existing in the first place. Does that make sense? Okay. Everybody good? We ready? Okay, let's get started.
You know, I actually really kind of miss these videos, right? Because this was before the, like, Mr. Beastification of YouTube, where everything has to be a high-value production, everything has to have, like hyper fast-paced editing and stuff, right? Like, I kind of miss more of this. And I mean that reflects in, like my metrics and stuff, or, like, I do a lot of discussionary videos, right? Whenever I put out a video on, like, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Discussions or discussing anything, right? Like, this feels very much just, like, old, casual YouTube status. And I think I miss that era. It makes me sad that if someone were to do an amazing job like this nowadays, it probably wouldn't see much critical success in the algorithm. And I view that as a failure of the algorithm, because that's how a lot of really good creators just go unfound. I'm very happy the series exists, though, and I think it hit at just the right time. We also have in hindsight that the Pyro update did eventually drop. I think that having more transparent notes and just like TF2 updates and stuff would be great, but I feel like Valve keeps that kind of a black box. Like the Man vs. Machine update just kind of took everyone by surprise, right? Stock.
This is one of the least used stock primaries out of all the classes, since everybody and their mother has this concerning level of attachment to the degreaser. Now that said, this weapon is usually used by pyros who are either really new or who know how to combo, but they prefer to have the capability to WM1 if they need to.
Sure.
Oh, and they also like having more air blasts at their disposal. In other words,
holy shit, Pyro, press something other than mouse 2 for once.
Oh, I love it.
Since this is a reskin of stock, the stereotypes for that apply to this as well, but without the whole new player stigma that most default weapons will come with. Now, it's also worth noting that the view model for this is pretty minimal compared to other flamethrowers, so people who use this also have an appreciation for a cleaner screen.
It's the minimalisticism of that, right? Yeah.
Well, this weapon does all crits from behind, so you'd think that backburner pyros would play a flank-heavy playstyle that allows them to maximize damage output and ambush enemies, right?
You would assume, but in practice, it doesn't really work the same. Like, I like what the backburner tries to do, and I know for me, at a very low player level, I like having to movement, so like the passing step forward or forward, either to the left or to the right to try and flank, right? The issue that I run into, especially on PC, is if I try to, say, challenge a heavy, I'm so used to, like, Xbox controls, where it's like, you know, with the stick, like, where you turn like my head's turning, how you have to turn, but that's not how that works, because you can have a heavy go from you're flanking them, they immediately snap to you because of their mouse sensitivity, right? And that's not like a fault of the game. That's just controls. Yeah, I as a backburner pyro have been able to fight certain heavies. I can tell if they're playing a controller or very low sensitivity because I can kind of orbit behind them. But the moment they're playing mouse and keyboard, I get immediately deleted by their the gun, right? I totally forgot what Heavy's gun is called. I'm so sorry about that. the machine gun, right? I get absolutely obliterated by it. But I mean, that's just something you have to understand. Like you die to it once or twice, and then you know, hey, maybe I shouldn't challenge that heavy. And realistically, it seems like there's a bit of a pass-fail logic that kind of goes with, do you challenge the heavy or not as pyro? You can, but you have to make sure that certain things do go right, and you have to keep an eye out for certain things when trying to challenge a heavy on that. But I like I as someone who really loves the backburner, I have a love-hate relationship, even with my low amount of playtime and low skill level. I like that its core idea wants you to, like, you know, to flank, to have movement involved in it somehow, but in practice, it really doesn't work that way.
Well, no.
Yeah, exactly. Just get bodied.
Now, this is the meta flamethrower, so it's by far the most common weapon to see pyros use. Because of this, there are quite a few stereotypes here. First, you've got the combo pyro. This is pretty self-explanatory. These guys do the standard pyro combo, which consists of setting you on fire, air blasting you, and then shooting you with whatever secondary weapon they're using.
I had the inverse. I was flaming them. I was doing 1-3-2 instead of 1-2-3 here. I was flaming them, trying to hit them with secondary, then air blast. That actually makes a lot of sense to get the distance.
Most pyros who have some idea of what they're doing will fall under this category. Next, we've got the big air quotes here, combo pyro. This guy has seen the first stereotype in action and he tries to replicate it. The problem is he kind of sucks at it. He'll air blast you and pull out his secondary, but for some reason, despite the fact that you're in complete hit stun, he'll miss. I don't really know how, but it happens. Next, we've got the WM2 Pyro. This guy doesn't know how to press any button other than the air blast button. You come around a corner, air blast. You're ambushing them, turn around and air blast. They're across the map and you're playing with any class that has a projectile, air blast. These guys are really easy to predict since they always just panic M2 whenever you're remotely close to them. So when you see them, just wait for an air blast and then destroy them. And finally, we have WM1 Pyros for some reason. Why would you use a weapon that does less fire damage to do fire damage? I don't know, but it's actually more common to see than a WM1 Pyro using stock.
That's so strange. I don't know, even as a backburner, right? Especially when I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to fish for the crits and the crits just aren't happening, right? It's like, yeah, I will WM1 all day on that because at least it still does a decent amount of damage. I heard a lot of good things about this one.
Okay, so I'm not sure how, but I went to the bathroom, and when I got back, somebody removed all my keys from my keyboard except for W and G, and they also took my mouse and replaced it with a single button bound to plus attack. Now, at first I was really sad since I thought, oh, I won't be able to play TF2 anymore, but then I remembered that the flog exists, so we're fine. Now, I know the whole brain-dead WM1 stereotype has been around for a long time, but at this point, most people who use this know exactly what they're doing. They
look, if it works, it ain't dumb.
Just don't really give a damn what everyone else thinks of them.
God, Pyro is such a weird class.
This is another stock reskin, so again, all the stereotypes for that apply here. The only difference between the two is that the Rainblower takes you to Pyro land and it also has a taunt kill. So most Pyros using this will try to taunt kill it basically every opportunity.
So what I'm hearing is I need to run this, trying to bait people into the taunt kill thing. I'm going to taunt kill them, but actually just WM1. Got it.
This usually gets them killed, but
I'll have to see the taunt for it.
Shotgun has two stereotypes for Pyro. First one is obviously the guy who just launched the game trying really hard for that flare gun he saw in a Pyro frag movie. So
Makes
you can
sense.
just run around trying to do that just to realize frag movies fail to represent actual viability of a weapon. Other stereotype is pretty simple. This guy plays competitive Pyro in Europe or America.
Fair.
This is a very common Pyro secondary since it allows for pretty good burst damage at short or long range. That said, because it's so common, it's usually seen as a war pig. There's the whole puff and sting combo that so many people love to use, and since they're using the meta combo, they probably think they're really good at the game. Unfortunately, they'll often completely screw up the sting part and end up looking pretty dumb.
So I actually ran into an interesting interaction, and someone's gonna know, like look at me and be like, "Really, Kip? This is the one that confused you?" And I guess it's because the game operates on quote-unquote Quake logic. So using flare gun, you can fire it, swap weapon, swap back, and then it's already loaded. I don't understand that. Is that like for every weapon? Is like so if you swapped off a scout scatter gun, do you just reload? Like, why? Like, sure, I'm used to games like Resident Evil 5, right? And not in the same vein, right? That's a third-person action, quote-unquote, horror game, right? Where, like, yeah, you can go on your menu and you can click on your ammo and drag it, hover, selecting ammo, hover it over weapon and quick reload, right? But I'm so used to in FPS games like Overwatch, right? Like, Reaper still has to reload his guns, Tracer still has to reload, Winston still has to recharge his Tesla cannon, right? Like, that's intended, right? That's intended. Is that actually part of like advanced like 1v1 where you fire, you swap back, and you have like ammo? Or is it like if you had say Scout and Pretty Boy Pistol or something, right? Or even like Scout and any like Scout and Winger, right? Scattergun Winger. Do you empty your Scattergun, swap to Winger, empty Winger, or get a couple shots off, swap back to Scattergun? Scattergun's already reloaded. Like why does it do that? Is it just a flare gun thing, or do all weapons when you swap off of them reload? It fascinates me because I'm not used to this, and no one has also talked about it as well. I've not heard Lazy Purple or SoundSmith yet in my reactions talk about this. I don't think I've even seen a comment regarding it, so it could be just a super basic game mechanic that I just totally didn't actually pick up on. Amazing.
The reserve shooter is one of those weapons that most players use where someone, somewhere
All I hear is Entrea.
is gonna get mad and yell at you for using it, even if it's your dad walking in like,
Hey there son, I see you're playing as the Pyro class in that Team Defense 4-2 video game.
Yeah, Dad, I love this character and he's fun to play.
You're dead to me.
when someone spots another player using the reserve shooter, they begin to sweat uncontrollably, and they immediately switch to a mindset that encompasses the following: calling the other player smelly, puppy kicker, a racial slur, something about being a weeaboo, and or gay, before proceeding to leave the server. Did I say only most players use this weapon? I meant
I didn't even know this existed, if I'm being completely honest. Like, we covered it in another video. I didn't even know this existed. I've never used it. Must have been an Uncle Topia server. Why does this go so hard? I love it.
Oi! You are a creepy, mute little bugger, ain't you?
I'm getting. Oh God, I love this, dude. This Pyro face, though. This is it. This is why I love Pyro. Everything about how this is animated is actually genuinely perfect. I kind of also need to make this my. I unironically might make this the Kip Reacts logo. Like, oh my God, like this is actually perfect. I love this. This is very much of the era for like Gmod Idiot Box, and I'm very much enjoying it. 8 years ago. Oh God, I mean, it was what was that? 2013. It was Gmod Idiot Box was a little longer. I think it's very invocative of the Gmod Idiot Box for me, and I'm loving it. Flawless. I love that Pyro animation. I think I used the detonator.
This guy loves to flank and jump and do all the really
No, I used flare gun, my bad.
crazy shit that we saw Sketchek do with it back in the day.
Ooh,
Damn, I
the
missed that guy.
assassinate!
Now you can expect these guys to know crazy jumps and flank routes and just generally drop out of nowhere. Now a lot of people assume that these guys use the detonator because they can't aim flares, but that's not really the case. That stereotype belongs to the...
Squirt shot? Okay.
Oh, what's that? Can't aim flares, but you still want to harass someone at long range? Well, fear not. Now you don't even have to hit your target. Just
finally a weapon for me!
spam the shit out of this down a choke point and, well, you really won't accomplish anything. You're just going to be a pain in the ass, but I guess that's what everybody who uses this weapon is going for, so...
Yep. Nope, that's all I want.
Checks out.
That's all I need. That's the perfect weapon. Perfect secondary. The
Players
what?
using the Man Melter really only ever use it with the flog so that they can still extinguish teammates. Otherwise, it's just kind of bad. Like, no, really, it's so freaking bad.
I love it. It's just bad. Bad,
Ooh,
bad
look,
weapon.
more bad weapons that basically nobody uses. This is one of those stock weapons that never really gets used because Pyro has so many better options at his disposal. Basically, if you see a Pyro with the fire axe, you can assume that they're either really new or Valve screwed up the item servers again.
Funny. So if they screw up the item servers, it sounds like any alternatives. Like so, like how like the fish on Scout is the bat, right? Just a reskin. Does it default it to base? So what happens to a weapon like 3 Ruin Word, like the Witcher 2 pre-order? What happens if it's a weapon that is kind of its own unique thing? Like, is it still derivative of like a base weapon? How does that work?
Back in the day, this weapon was the best pyro melee in the game. Nowadays though, it's just for hipsters like me who are too cool for mainstream power jack users. Well, please buff the extinguisher, I beg you.
Fair enough.
I wrote a blog post a while ago about why I f***ing hate video games. Because this is what it does. It appeals to like the male fantasy.
I see what you did there. It's funny because synonym. Awful. Low-hanging fruit. I love it. A home wrecker and...
This guy is a total bro. I love Homewrecker Pyros, even when I'm not playing NG. In fact, I'm pretty sure everybody loves Homewrecker Pyros. The fact that they have sacrificed the utility of other better weapons in order to help out his teammates is a pretty good indicator that you're gonna have a good time with this guy.
Okay. Cool. Sounds pretty fun.
Well, ever since the Extinguisher got nerfed into the same tier as Melee Kirby, this is really the best melee weapon for Pyro, which means basically everybody who...
It is refreshing to hear about Smash Bros. Because, like, I'm not a comp Smash Bros. Player, right? Like, I stopped playing Smash Bros. Because no one else around me plays Smash Bros, right? Like, obviously, everyone's like, oh, well, I did good with Sephiroth. And it's like, everyone did good with Sephiroth. That's why, as far as I was always banned in tournament play. I played a mean Isabelle with fishing hook, though. Dude, I'd play Smash Bros. Again. I would do it. The issue is, I don't know. I feel like it's a Nintendo thing, right? How, like, Animal Crossing Switch had their, like, update. Their, like, Happy Home Whatever update, and then they just dropped the game entirely. I feel like Nintendo just dropped Smash Bros. Like it's hot. Like, I'm noticing this is a trend with modern Nintendo, and it makes me really sad because I wanted more Animal Crossing content. I wanted more Smash Bros. Longevity. And I feel like the Smash Bros. Community, especially with how Nintendo is going after events, like, they were hurting. It's really refreshing to hear about Smash Bros. Because I don't know a lot about Smash Bros. Like, I can enjoy it. I can play at a hyper casual level, like Link, Isabelle, the one-off Odd Cloud plays, right? It's something that, like, I've always heard about, but have never been in the right communities for it. I am dog water at gaming. Like, don't give me the closest I get to fighting games is Naruto Storm, where I literally made a buddy of mine at the time. He shut off his PlayStation because I kept guard breaking him into oblivion. Like, dude, just actually Alt F4 his console. Fighting games are a whole different beast. I like learning about them. I will never be good at them, but it's refreshing to hear about Smash Bros. Because I never hear about it anymore.
Takes the game seriously and knows what they're doing, uses this weapon. So if you see a Pyro using this, well, I don't know. I guess he knows what he's doing, but you'd be better off judging his playstyle with other weapons since this one is so broad.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's interesting. I think I use it for the speed
boost. This guy is a strong, independent Pyro who don't need no medic. He understands that medics are an endangered species in pubs, and so he'll use this to go off on his own and just do his own thing. One thing to note is that you shouldn't expect very much teamwork from these guys because, like I said, they're just off on their own doing their own thing.
I can't wait to get to the medic video because I'm going to go through I'll go through an entire community day. I'll just play healer. That might honestly be my next community day. I'll just play healer that entire time. I know people swear by the vaccinator. I used a little bit of it at the end of our last community day because it gives you the tiny shields with the Uber charge. I don't know how. Another thing as well, right? So in setup phase, your Uber charge charges a lot faster, so you have Uber ready for first encounter, right? Like one of those core game mechanics. I feel every TF2 player, if they've ever played TF2, will go, yeah, that just makes sense. But it isn't explicitly stated in any of the videos I've watched. It's fascinating to learn what I've actually glossed over. I can't wait to get to his medic video on this to see what his take on some of the weapons are. I might just use stock, honestly. I do use Uber saw because Uber's kind of tech, but I feel like I need to really experience medic in pubs. I'm sorry, we get what?
Oh, wow. Lots of responses. Could use that. Maybe. I don't know.
This is old Twitter, isn't it? Wow. Uncultured Swan? There's a joke here that I'm too boomer to understand. Meme the volcano fragment.
Just
oh no.
Don't meme the volcano fragment. I use it as an action.
Does he actually have his arrow keys taken off? His up, left, and right arrow keys off? What is this a Pyro joke? What a cool dude.
I don't have anything to add to that.
I kind of want this now.
That one literally just wrote itself.
Basically, no. Oh, so wait, what was that? Nobody uses this except in medieval mode or for the memes. Well, I'm gonna have to go craft one. I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to take one for the team.
This guy is a Pyro Shark, plain and simple. You know, I actually had an amazing Jaws edit that I did for this. It had 20 different Neon Annihilator kills in it, but that got completely screwed by copyright.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna leave a link to that in the description if you want to go and watch that. But as for the actual stereotype, it's just Pyro Shark.
It's fun, doesn't it? It's because it's electric, right? So it does more damage in water. I love it, dude. It's so good. Like, I love the options Pyro has. It's unironically my favorite class just starting out, which puts me in a weird I have to get good.
This is another Pyroland stock reskin, except this time it's actually complete shit. So players who use this weapon just God, why would you even use this?
It's funny.
I guess maybe if you want the full Pyroland set, so the goggles and the Balloonicorn and the Rain Blower and the Lollychop, but even then, that's like, why? Maybe you have a strange one and you feel obligated to use it because of that. I honestly have no idea.
I love it. What actually happens.
I hate this game. Well, that's all.
I actually had that explained to me that I thought the kill cams were at time of kill, but they're actually delayed, so that's why there's taunts in it. That was super fast. I love when chat points out things. It's been such a blast learning about this game.
The weapons for Pyro, at least for now. Sorry about the delay on this one. I had finals and 2 other jobs and just so much other stuff going on. I'll try to get my shit together in the future. But anyway, make sure to let me know if you've got ideas or opinions for Demo, who is up next. And other than that, I think that's it. So thanks for watching, y'all. I'll see you next time.
I'm super ready for the defense classes. So I know a lot of people have been really enjoying the TF2 reacts, the SoundSmith ones especially. I want to take a minute to just like, I want to make sure I'm doing other things as well, right? I want to make sure I'm not content milling this, right? I try to take my time with each of these and actually have discussions and talk, be transformative, not just because, you should be transformative, but because, respecting the original creator. And I think that he's put out some amazing work. I don't know. I just tend to worry a lot in regards to if I'm being a content mill or if I'm, could be doing things a little better. So definitely, if you enjoyed this, I'm definitely down to see what else people would like to see. I've been looking at both the Discord server and some comments sections as well. I've been enjoying all of this. I know Psychology of the Spy is the one that's been pitched to me time and time again. As of recording this, I will get to that fairly soon. There might be a brief period of time where I overlap these two, but and I'll like playlist wise, I'll probably put it after this. For best viewing experience down the line if you come into this later. But I honestly am just having a lot of fun, and I think this is super cool to learn about a meta and game I've had no experience with, and really just kind of come into a really good and positive community. Like everyone has been really, really chill. Everyone's been super cool. Sure, you'll run into some public games, right? Some Glotopia games where like you'll have someone being kind of like meh in chat, but it's a far cry from modern Call of Duty. It's a far cry from a lot of games. I'm someone who likes to have fun with what they do, even if I'm not doing that well, and I feel like I can be enabled to just have fun and kind of just dick around in the game. And it honestly seems like it's been a very, very cool and positive community. But thank you everyone for watching. I really do appreciate it. Let me know what your thoughts on Pyro are, on if me liking Pyro the most, if that comes as a surprise or if that tracks, and I'll see you all in the next one.